phrase for it and a whole video filmed on it that all of our clients watch in the very beginning, called the screening killer. And that's how severe it is. I've named it the screening killer. So let me just get back and read this again, all in one read. A screening is a process of surveying and evaluating an individual in such a way as to detect distinct warning signs or symptoms of specific non-optimum physical conditions, the results of which action are, and those things that I listed. Okay? So that's something that you should keep in mind, and this will change your view, and it will change how you operate and the results that you're getting. So good. Now that we know that, and now that we know that the screening process is a referral process, you can actually take some actions to change. What are we screening for? What we're screening for is to qualify people. And that's the next thing that you should take from this, is that qualification is important. Qualification, I don't have to tell you this, folks. You already know that to qualify somebody means to make sure that they can afford your care, that they'll commit to your care, that they're going to be serious, that they're going to be doing 110% commitment just like you are. Okay? Qualification, and that's why we're also screening. So the screening is twofold. We're screening the person himself for non-optimum physical conditions so that we may refer him to his, not treatment, but next step. And secondly, we are qualifying him. We are screening him against our own criteria of if he fits as a model patient. Now, why are we doing that? Here's where you get the good news, guys. Tune in, write this down, and then put it in a picture frame up on your wall and worship it every morning, because you're going to thank me for this one. If there's anything you'll write in and thank me about, it'll be this thing. And that's that the screening process isn't a sales process. You do have a sales process in your practice, and you right now are doing it. You do the sales process when you're selling a treatment plan to a patient. It's just like when you go to buy a car. You have a car salesman who sells the car. But if the auto dealership went out to Walmart to get people interested in coming to the dealership, they're not going to try to sell them the car right there. All they're doing is collecting leads. And that's what you're doing when you make appointments at screenings. You're collecting leads. You're not engaged in a sales process. And guess what? I've developed an entire training program just based on that premise that makes chiropractors succeed where they failed before. And just knowing that detail can make an entirely monumental change in your practice without even getting into a single concept of how and why and what have you. Okay? So put that one up on your wall in a frame. I'm not doing sales when I do screenings. I'm providing my salesman, me, with leads. Okay? And be done with it. So the qualification process becomes very, very, very important. Okay? And so now do you see how to stop screenings? You actually have to start doing screenings so that you can do screenings correctly, turn them into a referral process, and then turn them over to somebody else so that it continues. Screenings are part and parcel of your marketing. Now here's another point I want to make. Screenings, and this is something you can write down, are not a marketing process in and of themselves. Yes, they are. They're a channel just like the newspaper. You can go out and do screenings. You can run a newspaper ad. You can do social media. You can do telemarketing. You can send a patient newsletter out. All those things. Yes, there is a channel. But by the definition that we're giving, as far as qualification and looking for non-optimum symptoms and all of that type of things, that's something that all of your practice promotion should be doing. All the marketing that you do should include that process. Now, you may think it's crazy. You're probably thinking, Frank, how the heck am I going to make a newspaper ad do that? But if you think about the concepts we talked about here in today's episode, you will see where it applies in your print advertising. And you'll be able to adjust accordingly. Okay? And that's going to lead me nicely into, we're going to do a top 10 list for you at the conclusion of this episode to tell you the top 10 reasons that screenings are valuable. Okay, and I really do want to tell you that. But screenings are not only referral mechanisms, but they are a mechanic, a part of the larger practice marketing process. So you can say screenings, telemarketing, advertising, social media, newsletters, so on, right? You could say it that way, or you can look at it this way, which is the way you should look at it. That telemarketing and print advertising and talks and this and that and the other thing all include or should include the screening process part and parcel. All right? So chew on that for a little bit, write it down, make it your mantra, and gut your marketing after you get off this podcast. Take a look at what you're doing. And is it engaging in the screening process? Is it qualifying people? Is it bringing them to a new level of awareness? And is it referring them? Okay? Not selling them. And that's really like what I want to impart to you today, if nothing else, is that process, that it's a referral-based process. All right. Now, what I want to show you is something that I did a top 10 list on. Okay? I want to give you the top 10 reasons screenings are valuable. And this is what I'm going to leave you with, because these 10 reasons should get you into the spirit of engaging in this. Now, before I give you this top 10 list, and before I make the bold statement or persuade you into the fact that these things, that screenings are valuable, you need to understand that just hearing me say it, although it may make you think about it and reconsider, and you may have some realizations, nothing compares to going out there and trying it. So I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to take this new outlook, if you will, and go out there and do it. Go do a couple of screenings. Go talk to some people and see if this isn't true. Okay? But let me give you my top 10 reasons why screenings are valuable. First, research. It is an awesome, awesome form of research on your chiropractic marketing. Nothing beats face-to-face interaction, interview, survey, whatever you want to call it. Go out, see what makes people tick, actually listen to what they have to say, good, bad, or otherwise, and engage in a dialogue, not a monologue. You're not going out there to preach to people. You're going out there to ask them questions and listen to people. So do it. That's research. Second part is its experience. You get to experience the viewpoint of a patient. When you put an ad out in the newspaper, or you put a flyer up, or you put a billboard and somebody sees it, you never, ever, ever get the luxury of knowing how it's perceived by someone else. Only that someone else who sees it knows how he feels about it. And screenings give you a face-to-face interaction, and you get the experience of experiencing the experience of the patient reading your thing. It sounds a little ridiculous, but you get to experience someone else's viewpoint. So that's great. It keeps you on purpose, folks. I got to tell you, the more I go out and do this, the more I go out and talk to people, you may think it'll give you burnout. You may think that you're just going to get sick of it and tired of hearing people's complaints and whatever. But I'll tell you, the more you do it, if you just keep yourself doing it, and do it from the viewpoint that we're talking about here today, you're going to find yourself starting to love it, and you're going to find your purpose going up, 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 up every single day, going, wow, how can I talk to more people about chiropractic today? And you have enough to worry about in your practice right now. All I got to do is mention something like, what's a good word? Obamacare. And you go right down the chute again, right? So we want to keep you up, and this keeps you on purpose. Number 4, it keeps you on your game. Once you're on your purpose, it's like you're on your game. Did you ever notice you produce better when you're feeling good? You know, when you feel like you're spreading that chiropractic message, you feel good, you're on your game. The 5th one is live experience of advertising. So you know intimately who you're marketing to, okay? And again, this is a little bit like experience, but this is actually getting to know people in your specific community. Now, one of the things I want to impart on you here is a lot of the complaints we get about other types of screening programs or what have you, or even marketing programs in general, that are published by other companies and things, is that programs that worked in one area didn't necessarily work in their area. And these are great effective programs, and I'm one to always make things work no matter what, but there is some truth to that. And nothing gives you the experience like going out and meeting your community to see what sort of works and what doesn't work. Okay, marketing advice can only take you so far. You have to actually go out there and do some to see what your demographic is in your area. Number 6 is word of mouth advertising. There isn't anything better than that, than word of mouth. And you want word of mouth for your practice. And this is a chance for you to go out and do word of mouth about your own practice. Whoever said you can't do the word of mouth? And that's something that's invaluable. And part and parcel with that, number 7, is you get your social media pumped up. Screenings are the original form of social media. okay? And social media, it's face-to-face interaction. It's you sharing something with someone else and them sharing something with you, and that's all social media is all about. But it's a great way to expand your social media because during these interactions, people have smartphones. They're walking around with smartphones and Facebook apps, and they're connected immediately. They can like your page right there, and they can get hooked up to you. They can get on your mailing list. You're collecting leads for sales. Not everybody you meet at a screening has to be a scheduled appointment. Some people take longer than 5 minutes, folks. So you may want to continue to connect with them. And guess what? Did you ever notice you have to tell somebody something 2 or 3 times before they get it? So social media pump up. The next one, number 8, is promote your in-house talks, your community talks, your dinner talks. Self-explanatory. You're going to put a list at your screening. Anybody that isn't a closing potential, you're going to put them on that list and bring them to a talk. Or you're going to buy them dinner and talk at them or talk to them. The 9th is a direct way of getting leads. This is what we've been talking about this whole time. You go out and do screenings. You're building your leads list. You're giving yourself a pool of people, of resources to which you can market. And then the number 1, this is the 10th, but it's the last and most important, the number 1 reason, it's the only immediate way to get new patients. No matter how bad things are in your practice, you look at any other type of marketing and there's going to be a longer runway. You could go out today and do a screening. You could call up somewhere, you can get in somewhere, and you can just go screen some people and you can get some people in your practice now. It's the only form of marketing and only marketing process that will do that for you. Okay? So that's why it's important. And you have to have a balance in your marketing. Okay? This is the subject of an entire other podcast, but you should know that there has to be balance in marketing, and you have to have a balance of direct face-to-face with your other promotional things. One is called present, one is called future. These are my coined ways of looking at it. Present marketing is things you do to get somebody in the door today. Future is stuff you're going to send out the door today that'll bring someone in another day. And we can get into that another time. All right, so what did we learn today? We learned screenings are a referral-based process. They are something that you can use as a powerful tool to not only make people more aware, but nudge them to take their next step, and that's it. And that's what you're going to do mainly. Now, should you like to ask more questions about this, and again, I would like to invite your feedback on future things that you'd like to hear in future episodes. And please write me. frank.screenings@live.com is my personal email address. I read my email all the time. I answer my email frequently. I'd love to get your feedback and your questions about that. I hope you found today's episode valuable. And we're really looking forward to putting on another one for you. We're doing something very grassroots, and we're trying to provide as much free help for chiropractors as we can. So let me discuss the resources. If you go to screeningexperts.com, our website, and scroll down to the bottom, you will see a tab that says resources, and it will have a link to my podcast, and then it also has a link to our free YouTube video center where you can get inspirational videos to put on your website and in your social media for free that apply my principles in the screening and referral process to get people interested in coming to see you. So I want you to make use of those. The other free resource you should use is go to my blog, and you can read a lot of interesting articles that are very helpful at chiropracticmarketingadvice.com. So please visit those. Please get others to listen and subscribe to my podcast. Please get others reading. Make sure that you like us on Facebook and do all the social media things. Connect with us. Again, subscribe to this podcast. You can download them, tell all your homies about it, and get them involved. We're trying to make a grassroots effort here, and I would really like to do that for you. So we've come to the end of another successful episode, and I would like to again thank you for participating, and we'll see you in the next episode here on Will Work for Patients.